What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, before we get into the video, if you didn't mind hitting a like on the video, it really does help the channel out. It shows that you're watching it, you're paying attention, not only views-wise, it's another thing for the algorithm to pick up on. If you're new here, if you didn't mind subscribing to the channel, it would be fantastic. We talk about karts and theorem and all sorts of stuff. I know if you're tuned in as of late, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm currently in the house, in the bedroom. Puxatawny Phil, good news, I think. Is Puxatawny like 3.5 hours from me? Something like that. It's just down in PA. Anyway, the whole Groundhog Day thing, they said 4 more weeks of winter. I know we really haven't gotten the snow, but it's cold enough in New York that I hate winter. I mean, you can't race, you can't, we're just buckled down inside. And obviously I'm in here because it's too cold in the barn to do this. So maybe 4 more weeks. Maybe I'll be out there. Maybe you'll start I'll see some warmer days and I could just go ahead and remove, take all this stuff and put it back in the barn, get there. But I don't know if this will become a series, but I thought there are some things for new karters that you should be aware of, at least to get into your head that, maybe you should be paying attention to this. And I'm not saying this of don't do that, I never put myself on a pedestal. I oftentimes will tell you things not to do because I've done them and it was wrong. So, bad habit, leaning out of your cart, not good. Okay, why is this bad? Why is leaning out of your cart when you're racing, isn't more left weight better, Ben? It depends on the track. We'll take it from the technical standpoint. When you have a set of scales, you have your numbers your manufacturer gives you, you put your tires on and they have your staggers all set up. You take the time to get your percentages exactly where you want them to be. Phantom or Kinetic or whoever says they want this left side percent on here. You know what happens when you go into the corner and you're driving down the straightaway and you do this? Yeah. That just made whatever, say 58% left. Say you're setting at 58% left. This is going to make it 62%. Not good. Not only that's going to add, add to your left side, it's going to increase your cross. All these things you might think, or your body might think, because that's what it is. It's a natural reaction that you want to do this, that it's going to help it go left. It could conceively actually hurt you. So it's just not a good thing to do. You can watch some videos and maybe I'll be smart and maybe I'll drop some footage in here. When your cart isn't handling the best, you have a tendency to move around in the seat, and I totally understand because I do it, and maybe I can find some footage of me actually leaning. I also have a habit of pulling myself forward to give it more nose bite. It's usually off starts, I found. So when you're all grouped together, you take off side by side, and you want to, put your heater laps in to try and spread the field out to get to the front. I have a tendency to want it to turn a little better, so I find myself pulling forward to get the nose to gain more traction. Now, it does help load the nose, but what it does do is it takes traction out of the rear. And again, with the lean into the side or leaning forward, or, I don't know why you would lean back, but okay, we'll throw that in there. It is going to take your percentages and goof them all up. A long time ago, I used to race with a gentleman named Timmy Lawler in the open class. And I swear to God, it was dangerous how much I saw. This is that big quarter mile, at Paradise Speedway. Huge speeds, 55, 57 mile an hour in the center of the corner I had recorded. And he's just draped outside of his cart. It's just like, dude, if I come to the inside and try and make a pass, or you lose it, your weight, your protection's gone. What little protection we have, the Nerf bars or side panels or whatever, even in UAS, if you're hanging that far out of your cart, it's also dangerous. Not only are you hurting the performance of your cart, but you're putting yourself in the danger zone. So the one thing I did want to bring up is, even though I did do it, everybody knows to this point, I've been a UAS guy, I've been an opening guy. There is amount of, it's not good, I'm no way justifying it, but when you have gobs of horsepower, you can get yourself out of a pinch. That's why, some of the the smaller engines can keep up momentum in the corner, and sometimes the bigger engines are a little more point and shoot. You have to stand on the brakes, you get, lean in, do whatever, get a turn, and you get kind of woe down and then shoot off the bottom with all that horsepower. It's not a good practice. It's way better to roll the corner, but you have a tendency to be able to recover when even if you're doing something like leaning. Now, the one time that I was able to race a clone, I was very careful to stay in place. Like, trust the process, trust what the pieces were telling me. Hey, okay, we're gonna take this amount of cross off, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I was very conscious of keeping my body position, because I know there's no recovery when it comes to these smaller engines, or there's very little recovery. That if you get yourself out of sorts, if you lean and get it too tight or too free, or anything, you don't have the horsepower that I once had to get out of that situation. So just something to get in the back of your head when you're racing. If you're a father and you got your kid into it, if you're watching them get into the corner and they're just make it a point to address it. Say, hey, it's not helping. I know they might not be conscious of it, but if you can record it, get your cell phone out during practice. If you can see them lean, videotape it. I'm dating myself. I call everything video. I'm videoing. Is that's still the term? Filming? Filming would be a little outdated. Anyway, tape it and show them how far off, and then explain to them, hey, all that work we did on the scales at home, you're kind of throwing it out the window. And at least if they're conscious of what is going on, maybe your kid or yourself, whoever it is, will be a little more thinking about it. Like, hey, you don't have to be rigid. You can you can be in the seat and move with the cart and be fluid with it, but just don't do one of these deals, or like me, and pull forward. It's bad practice. It's a bad habit that you probably should break yourself of, and it should help your performance. So there you go, guys. The tip for today is don't lean. So I really do appreciate every single one of you coming by, and we'll see you in the next video next week. Yeah, next week. We'll do it again next week. All right, later.